Well, Oxford United are into the semis of the Europa League. What a time! What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Episode 53 of the Summer Career Mode. And just before we play our first of 6 games today, 3 of which are against Manchester United in that Europa League semi-final on the back of our penalty shootout victory over Inter Milan. Teddy Lowe, coolest man in Italy that night. We got games on the Saturday in the Premier League where right now, as you can see, really anyone in the top 7 could still be champions. We are facing 7th place Chelsea in our episode over. Before we get there though, Newcastle, who are leading the league right now, are away at Craven Cottage on the Saturday. So if they drop points again, then we'll have 2 games in hand with a chance to go top of the table, or if we win all of our remaining games, we will be... Have they lost again? Oh my goodness gracious me, we'll be Premier League champions. Marco Silva, thank you very much. And it means that heading into our first game today, well, here we go. Today, we could be top of the table by several points if we win our 4 Premier League games. And the first of 4 is this one, is at home at the Triangle as we take on Chelsea. We have had a very mixed run in the league recently. Our last game was a defeat away at the City Ground, but whilst we have lost 2 of our last 3 in the league, both of those are away. At home, we haven't lost at the Triangle in quite some time in the Premier League. So 3 points here against Enzo Maresca's side will surely end their title hopes, but it will send us top of the table with 6 games to play, and we'll still have a game in hand as well. So this is it. First game, Chelsea at home, and a chance to go top. Come on to use. And I missed it as well, but Brentford drew with Liverpool, so that means we've got a game in hand on them as well. This is the chance here, man. And when you get these sort of chances, you've got to take it. There's Openda back heels, gets it back and drills it home. But this is a man who always takes his chances against me right from kickoff. Chelsea in front in 3 minutes, didn't touch the ball. And the Blues have the early lead at the Triangle. You know, I was going to say as well, our last league loss at the Triangle was back in Boxing Day at home to Nottingham Forest. But I'm not surprised it's likely to be here now as well. Chelsea are so hard to beat, especially when that man Openda is playing. Because as strikers in FC25, sorry, I think he is the one I've struggled against the most. He always scores against me. I mean, obviously, you know, you've got your Haalands, your Mbappes and so on, who, you know, you're going to struggle against no matter what. But in terms of the forwards outside of the global elite, if you will, yeah, I think Openda is the guy who has the best record against me. It seems like every single game I face him, he gets at least 1, and sometimes 2 or 3. And this afternoon with the early goal there, this is going to be 3 defeats in 4 Premier League games. All we needed was 1 Premier League win in this run to go top, and I've lost 3. I mean, put it this way, we don't deserve to win the Premier League title based on this current run of form. Great win at the San Siro, but that's going to be completely forgotten about if we can't find our way back into this one. Lucas to Duomo, popped out wide to Dembele. And as he's tackled and Chelsea come forward, I don't deny that playing 2 hours on Thursday night in Milan and having to come back home for this crucial Sunday afternoon clash isn't doing us any favours with the lack of rest time, but fatigued or not, there's no excuse for this. 38 minutes, 2-0 down. How do you stop this guy? I'm emptying the bench at the break, sod this. I'm emptying the bench and I'm saying, guys, I've got Everton in 3 days' time in the week. Let's just try and win that game, yeah? Because at the moment our Premier League form is all over the place. And against Chelsea, like I said, with Openda up top, it doesn't matter who the other 10 players are. That's a guaranteed L when I'm trying to face this Belgian. Literally, he's almost perfect. Can't stop him at all. Lucky to still only be down by 2. As he back heels for the 3rd. He is just so good. Yeah, I could blame this on fitness, but I'm not going to. Simple as, I've been absolutely terrible. But also Openda has shown that he is the complete striker in FC25. I cannot stop him. We know the guy's rapid with great agility and ball control, but the awareness he's got, like that 3rd goal summed it up perfectly. He's always in the right position, and for that 3rd goal, the back heel, unbelievable, man. As Buckley is through, And Warner takes his time and almost got us a consolation. Based on how tight it is, it could well come down to goal difference. And unfortunately, that is not going to favour us if that ends up being a tiebreaker. Because our GD is really poor for a team up the top of the table. We're a low-scoring team, and games like this do not help. I noticed that whenever we face a big team, if we lose, we get absolutely thrashed. 5-0 against Arsenal, 5-0 against Liverpool, and now 3-0 at home to Chelsea as well, and probably could be more. There will be more, because Palmer's stepped forward, his shot blocked, but who does it drop to? Openda, of course, and whilst the rebound is saved by Samuelson, it's turned in by Alex Baena. 4-0 Chelsea. Months since our last defeat at home in the league, and then brought crashing down to earth. Well, there's going to be a lot of boos at the full-time whistle, and honestly, I might join in with them as well, because this is a pathetic way for our long, oh wow, what a miss, unbeaten streak at home in the league to come to an end. A 4-0 thrashing to Chelsea, and it's now our third defeat in 4 in the Premier League. If we won just one of those 3 losses, we'd be top. Instead, we are playing catch-up after yet another missed opportunity. And quite frankly, we can't afford any more in our remaining run-ins. So let's just jump into the following game and try and put this to the very back of our minds. Because it's Wednesday night, we stay at the Triangle, and now it's David Moyes' Everton. I would say now, in our remaining run-in, we can't afford any more losses. We've just had 3 in succession, and now this game against Chelsea needs to be the final one of the season. So let's get back to track here, back on track I should say, and back to winning ways. Everton at home, and a win here puts that loss way to the back of our minds. Come on, the U's. The inconsistency this season has been a big reason why we've struggled so much. And I think struggled so much, obviously we haven't, as Kuzanov blocks that shot there, and you might have noticed pre-game, I don't know if I included it, if I didn't, basically Kuzanov just requested a transfer, that's fine, it's final season of the save anyway, so at this point, it doesn't really mean anything, as that free header by Dominic Solanke has been turned in, but that's the problem really, you can't predict us, man, like you can't predict us, sometimes we'll get a scalp and a massive win in a game with big underdogs, and we just knocked out Inter Milan in the Europa League quarter-finals, they were the third favourites to win the whole thing, and now it's going to be back-to-back losses, both at home, that follow on from probably the biggest win in club history. You literally cannot predict this Oxford United team this season. Yeah, the Premier League run has just been catastrophic, to say the very least. And that is why, oh, great hold up from Higgins. Timed that to absolute perfection and signed with a simple finish. We're gonna have to win, I think, both games against Everton and Spurs here back to back for our final 4 games, in the league, to have a chance at winning the Premier League title. These 2 games, no exaggeration, I think, are going to decide whether we have a shot at the title or whether we'll be lucky to make the top 4. And we're defending like this, I think it's the latter. Yeah, I don't think I'm being dramatic here. If we fail to win this game or against Spurs, that's 1 win in 5 in the league. That is not good enough for you to win a Premier League title. Higgins slips through Forson, bit of an awkward angle, keeps his dribble alive. Oh, brilliantly done. Teddy Lowe, shot blocked and cleared. And still we find ourselves tight. At this stage of the season, draws are defeats, man, when you're chasing a championship. We've got to find a winner in the final 25. And instead, as Dior blocks the shot, it'll drop straight back to Solanke. Oxford are all over the place. We have missed chance after chance after chance to win the championship. Ultimately, we don't deserve it. Too tired. Like, Higgins is out of energy. Dior's out of energy. Do you know what? Against Spurs on the weekend, I'm just going to throw a backup side out there. As Butkus drives forward and finds Higgins, who couldn't fire in the leveller. I'm throwing a backup side out against Spurs and saying, do you know what? Forget it. We can't win the title. Our form is too poor. Oh, his Forson rifles just over the bar. And let's just put all our eggs in one basket. I'm putting a Spurs and Manchester United of last season and saying, forget the league, forget all about it. We're going all out for the Europa League. As Butkus finds Higgins, and it's all Oxford United, and still we cannot score. Yep, as much as I want a top 4 place for the first time in the save, we ain't even going to get that now. Forget it, forget it. I've seen enough. I've seen enough, and it's time to go full-blown European strategy. I'm putting all of my eggs in one basket, and I'm going to rest all of my players for the game against Spurs. It's the final season of the save. As much as I want that top 4 place, ultimately Europa League gives you Champions League football anyway, as we know. So I'm going all out for the Europa League, resting all my players for Spurs on the weekend, and that means on Thursday night in the first leg against Manchester United, we'll have a fully fit side. It is time to go jugular in that hunt for one major honour, which is all I want in this save. Spurs on the weekend. I'll just see what I can do, but most importantly, my first 11 are going to get a breather. And I will not be surprised if this is the game we somehow win with the backup brigade out there, man. But, yeah, he's got to be strategic at this point. The thing is, there are only 3 points off the top, but because of how overpowered form is, I've just got to think about it logically. Like, what have we got more shot in right now? I mean, it's got to be the Europa League, right, because of how close we are to a final place. And against Manchester United, who haven't had the greatest of seasons in this save, yeah, I'm not saying we're favourites for it, absolutely not. But if we can knock out Inter Milan, I think we've got a good chance there against Amorim's side as well, who of course last year got to the Europa League final themselves. So yeah, just being strategic from here. Just being strategic. We've got more chance, in my opinion, of winning the Europa League than we do the Premier League. And on this kind of run, then that is the most obvious thing I could say. I'm hoping that EA have toned down form for next year. As Gray makes a good save, but no rebound hits the post, and then the following rebound squirms in. Chad, how did you not save that? Goodness gracious me. Oh, if that's coming, Doxy Boy's raging. You know that Gordon Ramsay meme with the you donkey when he's comforting the child and then criticising the other person? Oh, Chad. Oh, mate, what is that? If that's coming, I'm subbing him off. With Chad Gray, I'm like, oh dear, oh dear. How did he not save? That's embarrassing. Just end the Premier League season, man. Just end it. I don't want to play the final games, man. I just want to play the European ones. Oh, it's going to be free. It is. Keane heads in, and in 21 minutes, we're 3-0 down. Just... Ref, can we forfeit the game at half-time? Can you just award us an automatic 5-0 defeat or something? Like, seriously, I just want to play that Europa League semi, man. This is pathetic. But I said before, to me, it just shows form. And I know I've got a backup side out there, but it shows form. And I know I keep going on about it, but honestly, until you're playing the game, you might not notice how bad it is. I hope my videos go some way to showing how strong it is. But yeah, this doesn't happen when you're in decent form. It doesn't even happen when you're in average form. But when you're in bad form, it's just almost impossible for you to get it sorted. Well, we've managed to keep the scoreline somewhat respectable out there, despite a terrible start. However, it is now going to become 4 as Moise Keane drills the ball through the legs of Chad Gray. And it is going to be another game where we've been hit for 4, our second in our last 3 in the league. If there was ever the slimmest possibility we could be Premier League champions today, it is clearly all over. 3 straight defeats, 4 in a row in the league, and 5 in our last 6. When you talk about bottling, this is almost as bad as it comes. I don't know what to say. I don't know how it's been that bad. All I'll say is one word again. Form. It's just so OP. I feel like I always have to point out every time I talk about form that I'm an advocate for it being in the game. I say this every single time I discuss form, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying it shouldn't be in the game. Of course it should be. Form, like momentum, is a real part of sport, both team and individual, and you see it in football often. So of course form should be in the game. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that at all. It's good that it's in the game, but the overpoweredness of it is ludicrous. 4 straight losses in the league for a team chasing a Premier League title, and 5 in our last 6. Really? Really? And okay, a couple of the games, fair enough, I understand. But like this one, for example, I've got a backup side. I'm okay with that. But like a couple of the games have just been ludicrously hard. based on the quality of our team and the situation at hand as well. Even so, it is what it is. It is a 4-1 defeat. It is 4 losses on the trot. The Premier League title possibility is gone. So now our attention shifts to this. And to be fair, if we get through this tie, no one's going to care about bottling the Premier League. Because we saw last season with Tottenham Hotspur, their strategy in the second half of the campaign was forget the domestic games and just win the Europa League. And it worked out perfectly for them. But for the team they beat in the final, they had the same idea. Manchester United, but in the end, couldn't get the job done in Bilbao. Well, for us, as we take on Ruben Amorim's side, the first leg of the triangle, we need a much better display on the back of 3 straight losses if we are to have any chance of making our first ever final in club history. First leg, I feel confident though, at the Europa League semis, Manchester United at the triangle. Yeah, I'm feeling extremely confident indeed. We got a fit side out there, and is that a straight red? You know, I think that is. I think that is the quickest red card I have ever seen the AI get. Hannibal's going to be walking. It was very late. He's off. Wow, that is the quickest red card I have ever seen. It was a really late challenge. I think a booking may have sufficed, but I can definitely see why it's a red. And I felt confident pre-game. I feel extremely confident now. And this is the chance here. We've got to take it as well. A man advantage for a whole game at home. If we don't win this first leg by a couple of goals as well, I'll be disappointed. Higgins converts the opener. He wanted it more than Costa. Oxford wanted it more than the Red Devils. And 4 minutes in, we had the advantage. The irony is we could still be Premier League champions, you know, with a few games to go. It's still possible with 4 to play. But you have to be realistic at this stage and say, right, what's my best chance? You know, what's my best chance here? Of course I could still do both, but what's my best shot? And it's clearly the Europa League. I felt like it was on the back of the win against Inter anyway, and it definitely is now. 16 minutes in, the boy wonder's got a brace, Manchester United all at sea, Oxford 2 goals up, and we could really run the score up here. Well, I must say, credit Manchester United, because I thought after we took the early 2-goal lead, the floodgates were going to open and the title's going to be over come the end of the first leg. Instead, it's still only 2. And they'll take this. It's almost like they've said, you know what, we're going to lose the game anyway, but let's still be in the tie heading back home. And they certainly will be, and they definitely would have been, had they got a goal back there. Still 2-0, and yes, we'll have the advantage heading to Old Trafford, but the tie is certainly not going to be over. However, it may well be now. Michael, come on! Bags the hat-trick, and that might well do it. Oxford United haven't got 1 foot in the final. We've definitely got a couple of toes, and it's the boy wondering, just waiting and waiting and waiting for Fredrickson to come across. As soon as he does, takes it round him, and the clinical finish with that lethal left boot has surely wrapped it up. Game over. Good night. And the tie is definitely not over, but yeah, I'll say it. We've got 1 foot in that Europa League final. So we don't absolutely bottle it at Old Trafford. We will be going to our first final in club history, and so far so good on the very bold strategy of foregoing the Premier League. Speaking of which, following game we'll jump right into it, and it's the same stadium and the same opponent, Manchester United at the Triangle, in our second of 3 consecutive battles, but again this being the league game. And whilst we still do have that slim shot at a Premier League title, I will pick some starters for this, but I won't be too disappointed if we lose for the 5th game in a row in the Premier League. My focus is just making sure we don't drop the ball at Old Trafford in the second leg of that Europa League semi-final. Manchester United triangle once again, this time in the Premier League. 6-point gap, 4 games to go. I'm not saying it's over, and I won't say it's over until it officially is. As Samuelson does really well. That's great goalkeeping to claim the rebound too. But let's just say on the back of that win on Thursday night, I'm feeling quite smug about my decision to focus almost solely on the European games. If Manchester United win tonight, but we knock them out on Thursday night and make the final, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining. 25 to play. Gore slides it through the gap. Xerxes tackled by Kuzanov. Bukas was sandwiched by 2 red shirts. They did not know where to go. Just turned into traffic. And that should be Patiari's, and it is. And that has kind of summed up the game, really. Lost in the middle of the park. And as Bukas tries to get away, does. Higgins almost out of energy. Kept him out though, just in case he gets one last chance, but It's not looking likely based on the pattern of play. Teddy Lowe tries to skip forward. He has got Higgins in space. He's found him. Michael, what a rocket! 16 to play. Brilliant pinpoint pass by Lowe. And Higgins with the finish. Well, maybe the title dreams haven't gone yet. Well, I'm not going to read too much into this. I know that our chance of doing it is still incredibly slim. However, it is still a chance. It is a win in the Premier League for the first time in 5. Oxford United returning to winning ways. Another clean sheet, holding Manchester United scoreless again. And not preparing to give up on the ultimate dream of a league and European double yet. But of course, we do have more chance of winning this. It is our final game today. It is the second leg at Old Trafford, Manchester United, where we lead by 3 goals, heading to the northwest of England, where tonight all we need to do is not have an almighty collapse, and we will be into the Europa League final. I'm feeling very confident indeed. I'll still pick a strong lineup out there, taking no chances, but we've got 1 foot in the final. Let's not choke it away here. Final game today, Manchester United in the second leg of the Europa League semi-final. We've got a few starters out there. Højlund, Samuelson making a very early save there, Amin, Lowe, Simon. So it's not a totally rotated lineup, but I have given a bit of thought to the Premier League now. Cutting the gap to 3. Yes, we've played a game extra now, but it turns out we still have a chance. But in the Europa League, how fitting is that? Captain for the night, Mr. Teddy Lowe. Don't we love him? Hero at the San Siro with a winning penalty. Has surely put Oxford United into the final now, no doubt about it. If they would have scored that early goal, Manchester United, maybe, just maybe, they can mount an epic fight back. But I don't think so now. 4-0 up in the 2 legs. I'd say start booking your ticket for the final, because I'm pretty sure we are going there now. Obviously, they had that incredible, famous night where they knocked out Lyon with the extraordinary comeback in the quarterfinals of the Europa League last year. But I don't see Lightning striking twice here at Old Trafford. They'll need a very, very resilient mindset if they're going to come back from this. 4-0 down, 23 minutes in. And the funny thing is, if there's going to be a 5th goal tonight, it's not going to be a goal back for Manchester United. It's going to be another one for Oxford. We have played this semi absolutely perfectly. Lowe almost got it. Bayern deal with the save, but it's just been literally for the entire tie, not just the first leg at the triangle, but the entire tie, one-way traffic. Manchester United just haven't really gone for it. And the funny thing is, I was saying earlier that they had an off-season in the save. They haven't. I don't know why I said that. I was confusing them with someone else, because they're still in with a shot to win the Premier League title. I feel like they are doing the opposite to us. They're putting all their eggs in one basket for the Premier League, whereas we're putting all the eggs in one basket for the Europa League. It's almost it's almost like they're saying, right, forget Europe, let's focus domestically, and we're saying the complete opposite. It's 5-0. Last year we were cruelly ejected from the Carabao Cup final due to a penalty shootout glitch, but during that moment I said that in life not everything that happens to you will be your fault, but it is your responsibility to deal with that. And this season, haven't we dealt with it well? Manchester United have grabbed a consolation, but the subdued reaction from the bench tells the full story. They'll get one back before the break, but they are not going to mount an epic fight back. We are still making the Europa League final with a sensational semi-final display. There is only one word you can use to sum up this semi-final tie, and that is domination. Yet we might have conceded a goal before the break, but that's the only negative in an otherwise flawless performance over 2 legs. A 5-1 scoreline has seen Oxford United progress through to their first ever European final and first final in general. It should have been the Carabao Cup last year, it wasn't, but this year no one is going to take this away from me. Electronic Arts, that includes you. Oxford United in the final, let's see who we've got. And that'll do it for today's episode of the Summer Career Mode as well, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really, if you have enjoyed it, if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. Oh, who's going to be them? PSV or Galatasaray? We'll go to extra time, and it's going to be the Dutch side, PSV, in the Europa League final. But that won't come in the next one. That will be in the episode afterwards. Before we get there, we'll have our final Premier League games in the next one, as it will be the penultimate episode of Season 6, and the save as a whole. We'll play our final 3 Premier League games, where 3 behind Liverpool, who we face on the final day, we still do have a slim shot at a Premier League title. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for another episode of Season 6, the final 3 Premier League games, very soon. Actually, you won't. You'll see the Europa League final in the next episode, and that'll be the big season finale as well. Doxy post commentary for you. Yeah, I forgot the Europa League final was played before the final Premier League game. Something I'm not a fan of, as you know, but that is how it is. Cannot change that. So in the next episode, we'll have the season finale as we play the final 3 Premier League games. Very little chance to win the Premier League anyway, but the big one, the Europa League final versus PSV Eindhoven. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the official season finale. We could still win a league and European double, but really, we're going for that Europa League. I'll see you for it very soon.